What you think is normal hygiene may look completely shocking in Japan. You may brush your teeth, shower every day, wear clean clothes, and still unknowingly do small things that make Japanese people uncomfortable without anyone saying a word to your face. Because in Japan, hygiene is not only about being clean, it is about respect. It is about not bringing outside dirt into a clean space. It is about not disturbing other people with smell, germs, noise, or careless habits. And the surprising thing is, many Western habits are not considered dirty in the West, but in Japan they can feel rude, careless, and even disgusting. So before you travel to Japan, live with Japanese people, visit a Japanese home, or simply want to understand why Japan feels so clean, watch until the end because habit number 6 is the one many foreigners do without realizing how bad it looks. Habit 1. Wearing outdoor shoes inside the home. One of the fastest ways to shock a Japanese family is something millions of people do every single day without thinking, walking into the house with the same shoes they wore outside. In many Western countries, someone might step into the kitchen to grab their keys, walk across the living room with muddy sneakers, or wear shoes throughout the entire house without giving it a second thought. It feels convenient, harmless, and completely normal. But in Japan, this habit is often seen as one of the most unhygienic things a person can do. The reason goes much deeper than keeping the floor clean. Japanese people see shoes as carriers of everything the outside world leaves behind. Think about where your shoes travel in a single day. They touch sidewalks covered in dust, crowded train stations, shopping malls visited by thousands of people, public restrooms, dirty parking lots, rainwater mixed with oil, chewing gum, animal waste, and countless invisible bacteria that cannot be seen with the naked eye. Every step collects something. By the time you reach your front door, your shoes have carried the entire outside world with them. Now imagine bringing all of that directly onto the floors where your family sits, where children crawl and play, where someone may stretch, meditate, or even sleep on a futon. To many Japanese people, this is not simply poor cleaning. It is a complete misunderstanding of what a home represents. A home is meant to be a sanctuary, a place protected from the dirt, stress, and chaos of the outside world. The moment outdoor shoes cross that boundary, that sense of purity is broken. This is why almost every Japanese home has a genkan, the small entrance area where the transition from outside to inside takes place. It is far more than a place to remove shoes. It symbolizes leaving behind the dirt of the world before entering a clean and peaceful environment. Japanese children are taught this habit from a very young age until it becomes automatic. No one reminds them. They simply know that respect begins at the front door. Many foreigners assume this tradition exists only because Japanese homes have expensive wooden floors or tatami mats, but that is only part of the story. The real reason is cultural. Japanese hygiene is built on prevention rather than cleaning later. Instead of allowing dirt inside and spending time removing it, they stop it from entering in the first place. It is a simple habit that saves time, protects health, and preserves the cleanliness of the entire home. Even the way shoes are placed matters. After taking them off, many Japanese people carefully turn their shoes to face the door so they are ready to wear when leaving again. This tiny action reflects mindfulness and consideration for the next moment. It is not about perfection. It is about creating order through small daily habits. Visitors who forget this rule are rarely confronted directly because Japanese culture values politeness. Your host may smile warmly and say nothing at all, but internally they may feel uncomfortable because something they consider deeply unhygienic has just happened in their clean living space. This silent discomfort is something many foreigners never notice, yet it leaves a lasting impression. The beautiful lesson behind this habit is that true cleanliness begins before you even enter a room. It is not measured by how often you mop the floor or how expensive your cleaning products are. It begins with respecting boundaries. Every time you remove your shoes before stepping inside, you send a powerful message without speaking a single word. I respect your home, I respect your family, and I respect the clean space you have created. That is why in Japan, taking off your shoes is not just a custom. It is one of the clearest signs of respect, discipline, and genuine hygiene. It is a small action that reveals a person's character, and once you understand its meaning, you may never look at your own front door the same way again. Habit 2. Using the same slippers everywhere. Many foreigners quickly learn that they should remove their shoes before entering a Japanese home. But what surprises them is that taking off their shoes is only the first step. The next mistake, and one that quietly disgusts many Japanese people, is wearing the same pair of slippers throughout the entire house, including the bathroom. It may seem like a small detail, but in Japan this is considered a serious hygiene mistake. Imagine entering a clean Japanese home. You remove your shoes at the entrance, put on comfortable indoor slippers, and think you've done everything correctly. Then you walk into the toilet wearing those slippers, use the bathroom, and return to the living room, kitchen, or dining area without changing them. To many Westerners, nothing seems wrong, but to a Japanese person, you have just carried the germs and contamination of the bathroom into the cleanest parts of the home. That is why many Japanese houses, traditional inns, hotels, and even some offices have a separate pair of toilet slippers waiting outside the restroom. These slippers exist for one reason only: to stay inside the bathroom. They are never meant to touch the clean floors of the rest of the house. The moment you step out of the bathroom, you are expected to remove them and switch back to your regular indoor slippers. This practice may seem overly cautious at first, but it reflects one of the most important principles of Japanese hygiene. Every space has its own level of cleanliness, and those spaces should never contaminate one another. The bathroom is treated as a completely separate hygiene zone. Even if it looks spotless, it is still associated with moisture, bacteria, and waste. By keeping bathroom slippers separate, Japanese families prevent invisible germs from spreading throughout the home. What makes this habit especially interesting is that many visitors make this mistake without realizing it. They see slippers near the bathroom, assume they are simply extra footwear, and continue walking around the house wearing them. Because Japanese people usually avoid embarrassing their guests, they may not say anything directly. Instead, they quietly notice the mistake and hope the visitor understands next time. It is one of those silent cultural moments where no words are spoken, yet a strong impression is made. This attention to detail explains why Japanese homes often feel exceptionally clean. Hygiene is not treated as something you think about once a week during cleaning day. It is built into every small action throughout the day. Instead of relying on powerful disinfectants after contamination happens, Japanese culture focuses on preventing contamination before it ever begins. The deeper lesson goes beyond slippers. It teaches awareness. It reminds people that cleanliness is not only about what can be seen with the eyes, it is also about respecting invisible boundaries that protect the health and comfort of everyone sharing the same space. Small daily habits repeated consistently create an environment where people naturally feel safe, relaxed, and cared for. So if you ever visit Japan or stay in a Japanese-style home, Pay close attention when you see a pair of slippers waiting outside the bathroom. They are not decoration, and they are not optional. Use them only inside the restroom, leave them there when you come out, and return to your indoor slippers before walking through the house again. It may seem like one tiny action, but in Japan it speaks volumes about your respect for cleanliness, your awareness of others, and your understanding of one of the world's most admired hygiene cultures. Habit 3. Blowing your nose loudly in public. For many people in Western countries, blowing your nose into a tissue is considered good hygiene. If your nose is blocked, you simply take out a tissue, blow your nose, throw it away, and continue with your day. In fact, many people believe this is more polite than constantly sniffing. But in Japan, doing this loudly in public can make everyone around you feel uncomfortable. It is one of those cultural differences that surprises visitors the most, because what feels respectful in one country can feel unpleasant in another. Imagine sitting on a quiet train in Tokyo during the morning rush. Hundreds of people are traveling together, yet the carriage is almost silent. People are reading, working on laptops, or simply looking out the window. Suddenly, someone pulls out a tissue and blows their nose loudly. The sound instantly breaks the peaceful atmosphere. While no one may say anything, many passengers will quietly feel uncomfortable because Japanese culture places great importance on not drawing unnecessary attention to yourself or disturbing the people around you. The issue is not that blowing your nose is considered dirty. Everyone understands that people get colds and allergies. The real concern is that bodily functions should be handled as privately and discreetly as possible. In Japanese society, respect often means minimizing anything that might make other people uncomfortable. Loudly blowing your nose in front of strangers forces everyone nearby to notice something they would rather not think about. It interrupts the calm environment that Japanese public spaces are known for. This is why many Japanese people choose to sniff quietly until they can reach a restroom or another private place. To many foreigners, this seems strange because they have been taught that sniffing is the rude behavior. But in Japan, the opposite is often true. A quiet sniff is seen as less disruptive than a loud nose blow that echoes through a train, office, classroom, or restaurant. The same principle applies to coughing and sneezing. If someone feels sick, many Japanese people wear a face mask, not only to protect themselves, but also to protect everyone around them. Covering your mouth properly, turning away from others when coughing, and avoiding spreading germs are considered basic acts of courtesy. Hygiene is viewed as something shared, not something personal. Your health habits affect everyone around you, which is why consideration for others is just as important as cleanliness itself. Another reason this habit stands out is because Japan values harmony in public spaces. Whether you are riding a train, standing in line, or eating in a restaurant, the expectation is that your actions should blend into the environment rather than dominate it. Loud conversations, phone calls, and even strong scents are often avoided for the same reason. Blowing your nose loudly falls into that category because it disrupts the quiet atmosphere that everyone is trying to enjoy. Visitors often make this mistake because no one tells them otherwise. Japanese people rarely embarrass guests by correcting them directly. Instead, they remain polite and silent, even if they find the behavior unpleasant. This can lead foreigners to believe they have done nothing wrong, when in reality they have unknowingly broken an important social expectation. The deeper lesson behind this habit is that true hygiene is not only about removing germs from your own body, it is also about protecting the comfort of the people sharing the same space with you. Japanese culture teaches that being clean includes being considerate, It means asking yourself, will my actions make someone else's experience less pleasant? That simple question influences countless everyday behaviors across Japan. So, if you ever find yourself in Japan with a runny nose, try to wait until you reach a restroom or a private area before blowing your nose. If you must do it in public, be as quiet and discreet as possible. A small act of consideration like this shows that you understand one of the most respected values in Japanese society, that real cleanliness is not just about your body, but about the comfort, peace, and dignity of everyone around you. Habit 4. Eating while walking on the street. If you've ever walked through a Western city, you've probably seen people eating everywhere. Someone is carrying a burger while crossing the street. Another person is drinking coffee on the way to work. Someone else is eating a slice of pizza while shopping, and children are snacking as they walk through parks or busy sidewalks. For millions of people, this feels completely normal. It saves time, fits a busy lifestyle, and hardly anyone gives it a second thought. But in Japan, eating while walking is often viewed very differently, and many Japanese people quietly find the habit untidy and unpleasant. The reason is not because eating outdoors is forbidden. Japan has amazing street food and famous food markets that attract visitors from around the world. The difference lies in how and where people eat. Japanese culture believes that food deserves attention and respect. Instead of rushing through a meal while moving from one place to another, many people stop, stand in a designated area, enjoy the food calmly, finish it completely, and then continue their journey. This simple habit reflects a much deeper philosophy. In Japan, eating is not just about satisfying hunger. It is considered a moment to appreciate the effort of the farmer, the cook, the ingredients, and the people who prepared the meal. When someone walks down the street eating, talking, spilling crumbs, or throwing away wrappers carelessly, it can appear as though food is being treated casually instead of respectfully. There is also an important hygiene reason behind this tradition. Walking while eating increases the chance of dropping food, spilling drinks, touching dirty surfaces, and then putting your hands back on your meal. Your hands may touch railings, elevator buttons, shopping baskets, train poles, door handles, or money before touching your food again. Japanese hygiene places great importance on avoiding unnecessary contamination, and eating while constantly interacting with public surfaces goes against that mindset. Another reason this habit is discouraged is consideration for other people. Crowded sidewalks in Japanese cities are often filled with commuters moving quickly and efficiently. Someone eating while walking may accidentally bump into another person, splash a drink, drop food, or leave stains and litter behind. Even if it happens by accident, it creates inconvenience for others, something Japanese society works very hard to avoid. This attention to cleanliness is one reason Japan's streets remain remarkably clean despite having relatively few public trash bins. People are taught from a young age to finish eating before continuing their journey, carry their rubbish if necessary, and dispose of it properly instead of leaving it behind. The result is a culture where public spaces stay clean because everyone accepts personal responsibility for them. Many visitors are surprised when they buy food from a convenience store or street vendor and notice that local people often stand nearby to eat instead of walking away with it. This is completely normal in Japan. Finishing your food where you bought it is considered more respectful than carrying it through crowded streets while eating. Of course, there are exceptions. During festivals, food markets, and certain tourist areas, people may move around while eating. But in everyday life, especially in business districts, train stations, and residential neighborhoods, Eating while walking is still generally avoided because it doesn't match the Japanese idea of cleanliness, order, and respect for shared spaces. The deeper lesson behind this habit is that hygiene is not only about washing your hands or keeping your clothes clean, it is also about how your everyday actions affect the environment around you. Japanese culture teaches that public spaces belong to everyone, and your behavior should leave those spaces just as clean and comfortable as you found them. So the next time you visit Japan and buy a delicious snack, resist the urge to eat while rushing to your next destination. Pause for a moment, stand in a suitable place, enjoy every bite with full attention, clean up after yourself, and then continue your journey. It may seem like a tiny change, but it perfectly reflects one of Japan's most admired values, that true cleanliness begins with respect, patience, and consideration for the people sharing the world around you. Habit 5. Using strong perfume instead of being truly fresh. One of the biggest surprises for many visitors to Japan is discovering that smelling strongly of perfume is not always considered a good thing. In many Western countries, wearing a powerful cologne, body spray, or expensive perfume is often associated with cleanliness, confidence, and personal style. People compliment each other's fragrance, and many believe that the stronger the scent, the more attractive they appear. But in Japan, wearing too much perfume can have the opposite effect. Instead of making a good impression, it may quietly make the people around you uncomfortable. This does not mean Japanese people dislike perfume. They simply believe that fragrance should never dominate a shared space. Japanese hygiene places a greater value on being naturally fresh rather than heavily scented. The goal is not to make everyone notice your fragrance the moment you enter a room. The goal is to make people notice your cleanliness without forcing your scent upon them. Think about daily life in Japan. Millions of people spend time together in crowded trains, elevators, offices, classrooms, restaurants, and small shops where people stand only inches apart. In these environments, a strong perfume cannot be avoided. Everyone nearby has to smell it, whether they like it or not. What one person considers a luxurious fragrance may give another person a headache, trigger allergies, or simply become unpleasant after several minutes in a confined space. Japanese culture has a deeply rooted principle of avoiding anything that disturbs others. This applies to loud conversations, noisy phone calls, excessive gestures, and even strong smells. Just as speaking loudly on a quiet train is considered inconsiderate, wearing an overpowering fragrance can also invade someone else's personal space. The difference is that while people can close their eyes, they cannot easily stop breathing. Another important difference is how cleanliness itself is viewed. In many places, people may use perfume to cover body odor after a long day. In Japan, however, perfume is never expected to replace actual hygiene. Cleanliness begins with bathing regularly, washing clothes properly, wearing fresh socks, maintaining clean hair, and taking care of your body. A pleasant scent is only a small finishing touch, not the main solution. This is why many Japanese soaps, shampoos, detergents, and fabric softeners have very light and subtle fragrances. They are designed to create a feeling of freshness without overwhelming the senses. Even many Japanese perfumes are softer and more delicate than those commonly sold in Western markets, because the emphasis is on balance rather than intensity. Visitors sometimes make the mistake of applying extra perfume before going out, believing they are making a positive impression. Instead, they may unknowingly become the strongest smell in an entire train carriage or office. Japanese people are usually too polite to complain directly, so they simply tolerate it in silence because no one says anything, Foreigners often never realize that their fragrance has become uncomfortable for everyone around them. The deeper lesson behind this habit is that true hygiene is not about drawing attention to yourself. It is about making other people feel comfortable in your presence. Japanese culture teaches that the cleanest person is often the one you barely notice. Their clothes are spotless, their appearance is neat, their body is fresh, but nothing about them overwhelms the people around them. So, if you ever visit Japan, remember that smelling clean is more important than smelling strong. Take a proper shower, wear freshly washed clothes, practice good personal hygiene, and if you choose to wear perfume, apply it lightly. Let your cleanliness speak quietly instead of allowing your fragrance to speak loudly. In Japan, real elegance is not measured by how far your perfume travels. It is measured by how comfortable everyone feels standing beside you. Habit 6. Entering the bathtub before washing your body. If there is one hygiene habit that confuses Japanese people more than almost any other, it is seeing someone step into a bathtub before properly washing themselves. For millions of people in Western countries, the bathtub is where you clean your body. You fill it with water, get in, wash your hair, scrub your skin with soap, shave, rinse, and then drain the water. It is simply another way of taking a bath. But in Japan, that idea is completely reversed. To Japanese people, the bathtub is not where you remove dirt from your body. It is where you relax after your body is already completely clean. This difference may sound small, but it reflects one of the deepest hygiene principles in Japanese culture, and ignoring it is considered one of the biggest mistakes a visitor can make. Imagine spending 20 minutes carefully washing your body with soap, shampooing your hair, rinsing away every trace of dirt, and then stepping into warm, crystal clear water simply to relax. That is how millions of Japanese people enjoy their evening bath. The water is meant to remain clean because it is often shared among family members. Parents may use it first, followed by grandparents, children, or other members of the household. If the first person enters the tub while still dirty, everyone after them is soaking in water that has already been contaminated. That is why Japanese bathrooms are designed differently from many Western ones. Instead of washing inside the bathtub, people sit on a small stool beside the tub. They use a handheld shower, soap, shampoo, and a washcloth to clean every part of the body. Only after every bit of soap, shampoo, sweat, and dirt has been completely rinsed away do they slowly enter the hot bath to soak peacefully. This tradition becomes even more important in onsen, Japan's famous natural hot springs, and sento, public bathhouses. These bathing places are treasured parts of Japanese culture and have existed for centuries. The water is shared by many people throughout the day, so entering without washing first is considered extremely disrespectful. It is not simply breaking a rule. It shows a lack of consideration for everyone else using the bath. Before entering an onsen, you will usually see rows of shower stations with stools, mirrors, buckets, soap, and shampoo. Every person is expected to sit down and wash thoroughly before entering the water. Many first-time visitors are surprised by how carefully people clean themselves. They rinse repeatedly to make sure no soap remains because even soap bubbles are not supposed to enter the bath water. The goal is to keep the water as pure as possible for every person who enters after you. Japanese hygiene also extends to many other bathing customs. Towels should never be dipped into the bath water because they have been used to wash the body. Long hair is often tied up so it does not touch the water. People avoid splashing, swimming, or making excessive noise because the bath is considered a peaceful place for relaxation rather than entertainment. Even children are taught these habits from a very young age until they become second nature. Many foreigners accidentally make mistakes because they assume the rules are similar to those back home. Someone may quickly rinse without using soap, step straight into the bath, or even bring shampoo into the tub. Japanese people rarely react with anger, but they immediately notice these actions because bathing etiquette is deeply connected to respect. The bath is seen as a shared sanctuary where everyone deserves clean water and a calm atmosphere. The philosophy behind this tradition is remarkably beautiful. Japanese culture teaches that you should never bring your dirt into a place that others will also enjoy. Instead of thinking only about your own comfort, you think about the comfort of every person who comes after you. This simple mindset transforms bathing from a personal routine into an act of social responsibility. It also explains why bathing holds such an important place in Japanese daily life. After a long day of work, school, crowded trains, and busy streets, the bath becomes a moment of purification. Washing removes the physical dirt collected throughout the day, while soaking in warm water helps wash away stress, tension, and mental fatigue. By the time a Japanese person leaves the bath, they do not simply feel cleaner, they feel calmer, refreshed, and mentally renewed. The deeper lesson is one that reaches far beyond the bathroom. Real hygiene is not just about cleaning yourself, it is about protecting the cleanliness that everyone else depends on. It is about understanding that your actions affect other people even when no one says a word. In Japan, true cleanliness is measured not by how spotless you look, but by how much respect you show for the people sharing the same space. So, if you ever have the opportunity to visit a Japanese home, stay in a traditional ryokan, or experience a famous hot spring, remember this one rule above all others. Wash your entire body first, rinse away every trace of soap, and only then enter the bath. It may seem like a small change in your routine, but to Japanese people it demonstrates discipline, respect, and a genuine understanding of one of the most admired hygiene cultures in the world. Habit 7. Touching food and personal items without washing hands after being outside. One hygiene habit that can quietly disgust Japanese people is coming home from outside and immediately touching food, furniture, towels, phones, pillows, or personal items without washing your hands first. In many Western homes, people may return from work, drop their bag, sit on the sofa, check their phone, open the fridge, grab a snack, touch the remote control, or even lie on the bed before washing their hands. To them, it may feel normal because their hands do not look dirty. But in Japan, cleanliness is not only about what the eyes can see, it is also about the invisible dirt you bring back from the outside world. Think about how many things your hands touch in one ordinary day. You press elevator buttons that hundreds of people have touched. You hold train handles, bus seats, shopping baskets, money, door handles, public restroom locks, restaurant menus, ticket machines, vending machines, handrails, and your phone again and again. Even if your hands look clean, they have collected traces of the outside world. In Japanese hygiene culture, bringing that invisible dirt directly into the home feels careless. This is why many Japanese people have a strong habit of washing their hands as soon as they come home. For some families, it is almost automatic. You enter the house, remove your shoes, put things away, and wash your hands before relaxing. Children are taught this from a young age, not as a special rule, but as a basic part of everyday discipline. It becomes the natural transition from outside life to inside life. In Japan, the home is treated as a clean and protected space. Just like outdoor shoes should not cross into the living area, outside germs should not be carried onto the things people touch every day. The sofa, dining table, kitchen counter, bedding, towels, and family items are not treated casually. They belong to the clean inner world of the home, and that space should be protected. What makes this habit even more important is how much Japanese culture values shared comfort. If you touch food with unwashed hands, you are not only affecting yourself, you may be touching something another person will eat. If you touch the remote, door handle, fridge handle, or table with dirty hands, someone else may touch it after you. In Japanese thinking, hygiene is not just personal, it is social. Your cleanliness protects other people. Many foreigners do not notice this because in some cultures, hand washing is often connected only to obvious dirt, using the bathroom, or before a formal meal. But in Japan, washing hands after returning home can feel just as natural as removing shoes. The outside world stays outside. The clean home stays clean. This is also why you may notice hand washing, wet towels, sanitizing wipes, and cleanliness routines in many Japanese restaurants, schools, offices, and homes. Before eating, people often clean their hands. Before entering certain spaces, people become more aware of hygiene. Even small actions are treated seriously because small actions repeated every day create a clean society. The same idea applies to phones. Many people forget that their phone is one of the dirtiest things they carry. It touches tables, pockets, public places, and hands all day long. Then they bring it home, place it on the bed, use it while eating, or hand it to someone else. To a hygiene-conscious Japanese person, this can feel unpleasant because the phone has become a bridge between the outside dirt and the inside clean space. The deeper lesson behind this habit is that cleanliness begins with awareness. Japanese hygiene is not about being afraid of dirt. It is about noticing how dirt travels. It moves through shoes. It moves through hands. It moves through bags. It moves through phones. It moves through careless habits that people repeat without thinking. Once you become aware of this, your behavior naturally changes. So when you come home, do not immediately touch everything around you. First, remove your shoes properly. Then wash your hands. Put your outside items in their proper place. Keep your phone, bag, and clothes away from clean bedding and eating spaces. These small habits may seem simple, but they create a powerful sense of order, freshness, and respect inside the home. In Japan, a clean person is not only someone who showers and wears fresh clothes. A clean person is someone who understands boundaries. Outside and inside are different. Public and private are different. Dirty and clean are different. When you wash your hands after returning home, you are not just removing germs. You are showing that you respect the place you live in, the people around you, and the invisible peace that cleanliness creates. So now you understand the deeper truth. Japanese hygiene is not just about looking clean. It is about thinking clean, living clean, and respecting the invisible boundaries that protect everyone around you. Removing shoes before entering the home, changing bathroom slippers, avoiding loud nose blowing in public, not eating while walking, using fragrance gently, washing before entering the bathtub, and cleaning your hands after returning from outside are not random habits. They are small daily signs of discipline, awareness, and respect. And this is why Japan feels so different to many visitors. The streets feel calmer, the homes feel fresher, the trains feel more peaceful, the public spaces feel more organized. Not because Japanese people are perfect, but because many of them understand one powerful idea. Your personal habit should never become someone else's discomfort. In many places, hygiene is treated like a private thing. You shower for yourself. You wear clean clothes for yourself. you use perfume for yourself. But in Japan, hygiene is also social. It asks a deeper question. Are you making the space cleaner for the next person? Or are you leaving your dirt, noise, smell, and carelessness behind? That is the lesson many people miss. Real cleanliness is not only about what you can see, it is about what you carry into a home. It is about how you behave in public. It is about how much you notice the people beside you. It is about respecting the floor, the bath, the food, the air, the silence, and the shared space that belongs to everyone. So before you judge these Japanese habits as too strict, ask yourself one honest question. What if the small things you ignore every day are the very things that make a society cleaner, calmer, and more respectful? If this video opened your eyes, comment "I respect cleanliness" below. And if you want to understand more hidden Japanese habits that can change the way you live, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and watch the next one, because sometimes the smallest habit reveals the biggest difference between ordinary living and truly mindful living.